Hello everyone, I am Crawlers and there's a bit of not so new news from Battlefield 4. You might have heard a few times now that Battlefield 4 is going to get some new content in the future, and now it's been more or less confirmed. Now I'm saying more or less because the DLC itself has been uh, confirmed to release at the end of May, containing what they call the Gun Crate and the Gunmaster mode, game mode. Now, they are also being super coy on purpose at DICE about the 5 new guns coming to Battlefield 4. And Julian, the master teaser, has been very naughty and posting screenshots of said weapons and on Twitter, and just so you could barely see the outline of one part of it. So it would keep you guessing. But the community, of course, being made up of much smarter people than I am, have already guessed which weapons these are. And more on that in a second. But right now I want to talk about Gunmaster. Now, I actually made a video on this a couple months back about how cool it would be if Gunmaster returned to Battlefield 4, since the last time we saw it was in Battlefield 3's Close Quarters DLC. As you know, Gunmaster is basically a progression type game where you start off with a pistol and in hand, and you have to get kills with it to progress to better weapons before getting the final kill with a knife and winning the game. Well, in Battlefield 4 we also saw some custom progression servers, in Battlefield 3, sorry, with the Gunmaster, like reverse progression or MG heavy loadouts or bolt action snipers only or whatever the hell that was. Well, Julian was also keen to mention that, quote, for a future patch we'll try to have some custom progression and not just presets. If you're a server admin, you will be able to get to define your own progression, which I think will be very welcome as far as Gunmaster goes, because the standard progression gets old really quickly. As I remember, sometimes I really hated Gunmaster in Battlefield 3, and frankly I'd rather they bring back Scavenger game mode, rather than Gunmaster, as I really like that a lot more. But of course I don't know the ins and outs of it, at DICE, and they might think that bringing back Gunmaster might be easier in terms of making it work with Battlefield 4. It would be quite fun to see it in Battlefield 4, though, even if the DLC doesn't come with any new maps. DICE says the community map project is still a thing, so we'll see how that goes. Now, as far as the 5 weapons go in the DLC, Julian has been hard at work coming up with screenshots, obscure screenshots of different parts of the weapons to get us so hard and keep us going till the official announcement comes out. Of course, it doesn't take long for the community to start speculating and guessing at what the weapons might be. Now, the first screenshot is very dark and you'd be hard pressed to see anything, but if you look closely you can see a muzzle brake on the right, and you can see it's a very peculiar muzzle brake, and as such it should also be quite familiar to Battlefield veterans, as it is that of the AN-94 or Nikonav's assault rifle. We have been just, pining for this weapon ever since Battlefield 3, right? And I'm sure DICE knows this quite well. If we are wrong and this isn't the AN-94, I think DICE just signed its death warrant. There will be riots in the streets and blood will be spilled. Metaphorically speaking, of course, I do not advocate violence. Unless it gets results, that is. Now, the next weapon that we see is a very up-close screen grab that appears to be some sort of a vintage repeater rifle. Now, there's been a lot of talk online that this might actually be a shotgun, but I'm one of those people that think it's a rifle. People now think that it might be the model Winchester Model 94 rifle, and I actually think that makes a lot of sense because with the Gunmaster game mode returning, I think this will be one of the stages that we would have to go through this rifle because, you know, it would be just so much fun to use, and I'd imagine, not to mention that the reload animation would probably be sick. And don't let the name throw you. This doesn't have to be the model made in 1894. These rifles were actually produced in the US up to 2006, and reproductions are still made in Japan. Other weapon guesses include this up-close screen grab of an AK-style assault rifle that the community seems to think is the OTS-14 Groza, or Thunderstorm in Russian. The reason they think this is the very characteristic stock shape on the right there that you can see is very likely to be correct. Now, the Groza is actually a very interesting weapon. It's based on the AKS-74U, and you can see it's made to be a little more modular and easier to use with a front grip or an under-barrel grenade launcher. And because it's a bullpup design, it's also quite small and well balanced. Now, the next screenshot that Julian teased us with contains nothing more than a muzzle brake lying on the grass. Now, not to worry though, people are quite quick to come up with guesses, and because there's been so many, they're probably right. And they guess that this is the L86A2 light machine gun that we had in Battlefield 3. A fun addition to the game, probably, and even more so to Gunmaster. Now, the fifth and final gun in the patch seems to be the PDW variant, at least for Battlefield 4's sake, of the Groza. It's got the integrated suppressor and a foregrip, which cannot be swapped out. And while this thing kicks like a mule with its balls duct taped, it's also a beast in close quarters. It does go through ammo like a tissue at a snot party though. Now, it seems Julian has been teasing us with this more or less illegible screenshot yesterday, and at first I even thought it was an April Fool's joke, but later I looked and saw that the suppressor on the weapon and its straight edge seemed exactly like the Groza, so it's just another variant. Also, you can see from the pre-alpha CTE footage, the repeater rifle, dubbed the Mare's Leg, is a sidearm, and thus, as I said, would fit quite well with the Gunmaster game mode. Now, I will post a video with the stats of each gun if you're interested later, but keep in mind these are pre-alpha stats, so after some much needed feedback, these are very likely to be changed. So thanks for watching. Please rate and share this video as it helps my channel grow. Check out my other videos at the end of this one, and remember, in Soviet Russia, YouTube subscribes you.